Hello and welcome to Lantern Lane Stories. Tonight's story is The Night Three Kings Sailed into Barcelona. It was the 5th of January in Barcelona. The sky was dark and pricked with cold stars. Leia sat at the kitchen table with a blank white page in front of her. The apartment smelled of cinnamon, warm orange peel, and toasted almonds. Her grandmother, her Avia, stood at the stove, stirring something slow. "Avia," Leia said, "how do I start the letter?" Her Avia turned and smiled. "Always the same way," she said. "Dear Melchor, dear Gaspar, dear Baltasar." Leia wrote the three names carefully. The pencil made a small scratching sound in the quiet kitchen. "Are they real?" Leia asked. Her Avia sat down across from her. "They are very old," she said. "Much older than you or me." "How old?" "Hundreds and hundreds of years," her Avia said. Leia thought about that. "Then they must be tired," she said. Her Avia laughed, soft and warm. "They rest all year," she said. "Only tonight they travel." "Where do they come from?" "That is the good question." Her Avia leaned forward on her elbows. "Melchor is the oldest. He comes from the cold north where his breath makes small clouds. Like mine does in winter, just like yours." "Gaspar is young," her Avia said. "He comes from the warm east where the markets smell of sweet spices." Leia tried to imagine a market that smelled sweeter than this kitchen. "And Baltasar comes from the hot south, where the deserts go on and on past the horizon." "Three very different places," Leia said. "Three different places," her Avia agreed, "but they all followed the same star." A small silence settled in the warm kitchen. "What did they carry when they first set out?" Leia asked. "Gold," her Avia said, "the most precious metal in the world, and sweet-smelling spices, frankincense, and myrrh. In those old days, rare spices were worth as much as gold. They carried the most precious things they owned," her Avia said softly, "and then they gave it all away." Leia looked at her paper. She wrote, "I would like a book and some colored pencils." She stopped and thought. Then she added one more line, "Please also bring something for Avia." She folded the paper and sealed it with a star sticker. "Good," her Avia said. "Now they will know your name." From the stove came a warm, sugary smell. Her Avia carefully shaped a ring of braided dough on the counter. "What is that?" Leia asked. "Tordel de rise," her Avia said. "The king's crown bread. We eat it tomorrow morning." She tucked something small into the dough and pressed the seam closed. "What did you hide inside?" "A tiny figure," her Avia said. "Whoever finds it in their slice is king for the day." Leia's eyes went wide. "What if I find it?" "Then you are queen of the 6th of January, her Avia said. After dinner, they put on their coats and scarves. Outside, the streets of Barcelona were full of people and noise. Children waved glow sticks, green, pink, yellow, in the cold, dark air. Paper streamers twisted and floated down from balconies above. "Where are we going?" Leia asked. "To the harbor," her Avia said. "To wait for the boats." "Boats?" "Barcelona is a city of the sea," her Avia said. "The kings always arrive from the water." They walked down through the old stone streets toward the port. The air changed as they got closer. It smelled of salt and cold iron and the wide, dark sea. Hundreds of people lined the harbor wall, pressing gently forward. Her Avia lifted Leia onto a low stone railing so she could see over the heads. The harbor lay black and wide before them. Far out on the dark water, lights moved slowly toward shore. First one cluster of light, then two, then three. They grew brighter as they came closer. The crowd grew very quiet. The lights became tall boats blazing with color. One glittered gold, one shone deep blue, one burned orange and red. "Melchor," her Avia whispered, pointing. "Gaspar, Baltasar." The boats came slowly into the harbor. Low horns blew, long and deep, echoing across the water. Three tall figures stood at the prows of the boats. Their robes billowed in the cold sea wind. They waved slowly, deeply, like people who had traveled a very long way. The crowd erupted. Voices called out names. Children shrieked. Old people clapped with both hands. Leia found herself shouting too, though she could not have explained exactly why. It just felt right. "They came from 3 different corners of the world," her Avia said, close to her ear. "And every year they cross the sea to reach Barcelona." "For us?" Leia asked. "For all the children," her Avia said. "For all of us." The 3 kings stepped off the boats and onto the harbor stones. The air smelled of warm caramel from the food stalls and roasted chestnuts. Then Leia heard something she had not expected, a low snort, a heavy, rolling footfall on the cobblestones. Camels, 3 of them tall and brown with long necks that swayed as they walked. Their padded feet made a soft, heavy sound. Their dark eyes were calm and patient, unbothered by the noise. "They really have camels," Leia breathed. "Of course," her Avia said. "A camel can cross any desert." "Even Barcelona?" Her Avia smiled. "Even Barcelona." Each king climbed slowly up onto a camel. The camels did not complain. They had done this many times before. The cabalgata, the great parade, began to move through the city. Floats rolled down the wide avenues, covered in colored lights. Drums and brass horns played, the sound bouncing off the stone buildings. Pages in red and yellow uniforms marched beside the kings. The camels walked in the middle of it all, steady and slow. Then the candy came, handfuls and handfuls of wrapped caramelos thrown from the floats. Gold and silver wrappers caught the light as they fell through the night air. Children ran and grabbed and laughed. Leia caught 4, then lost 1, then caught 3 more. She held them tightly in her coat pocket. "Why do they throw candy?" she asked. "A gift for everyone," her Avia said, "not only for children who wrote letters." The parade wound through the old streets, past the tall stone walls of the Gothic Quarter, past the bright cafe windows of the Ixample. All of Barcelona had come out to watch. Old men in berets, babies in arms, families 3 generations wide, the whole city together on one cold, bright night. "People have done this for many generations," her Avia said quietly. "Before me, before my mother, before her mother too." Leia watched the last float turn around a corner. The camels disappeared into the dark, narrow street. Their breath left small white clouds that floated and faded in the cold air. Home, warm and quiet. Leia unlaced her shoes at the door. "Don't put them away," her Avia said. Leia stopped. "Leave them by the balcony window," her Avia said, "so the kings can find them." "They'll come here, to this building, to every home in Barcelona," her Avia said. "That is why there are 3 of them. The city is very large." Leia set her shoes carefully on the cool tile beneath the balcony door. Her Avia handed her a small bundle of hay. It was dry and faintly sweet-smelling. "For the camels?" Leia asked. "Melchor's camel is always hungry after the sea crossing," her Avia said. "He eats more than the others." Leia tucked the hay into one shoe. She placed a small cup of water beside them. The balcony window showed the narrow street below. One orange lamp glowed at the corner. The city was growing still. "In other countries," Leia said, "children wait for man in red, in December." "Yes," her Avia said, "Santa Claus, far to the north. But not us. We wait for the kings," her Avia said softly. "We have always waited for the kings." "Because they are the ones who first gave gifts," Leia said. "Exactly." Her Avia nodded. "They carried the most precious things they had, and they gave it all away, and so it became a tradition. And then every year after that, her Avia said, they remembered to come back." She helped Leia climb into bed. The sheets were cool. The blankets smelled of lavender. "Sleep now," her Avia said. "They come when the city is very still." "Do they really read all the letters, every single one?" Her Avia considered this carefully. "They have all year to rest," she said. "Tonight they remember every name." She turned off the lamp. The room went dark and silver with starlight. Outside, the last voices in the street grew faint and then were gone. Gray morning light came through the gap in the curtains. Leia lay still for a moment, just listening. The apartment was silent. She got up in her socks and padded to the balcony door. She looked down. The hay was gone. The cup of water was gone. And in her shoes lay 2 small packages, each wrapped in gold paper. Beside them sat a bright tangerine, orange as a small winter sun. On top of the tangerine rested a chocolate coin, wrapped in golden foil. She held the coin up to the window light. It glowed warm and round. "Avia," she called. Her grandmother appeared in the doorway, already smiling. "They came," Leia said. "They always come to Barcelona," her Avia said. From the kitchen came the sweet smell of the tortell warming in the oven. Leia pressed her warm hand flat against the cold window glass. Down in the street below, a shutter opened. Then another. Then another. Lights came on in windows all up and down the lane. Somewhere nearby, a child's voice rose in a bright, surprised shout. Then another voice farther away. Then another farther still. All over Barcelona, children were waking up to find their shoes. All over Barcelona, the 6th of January had begun. And so, Barcelona also slowly, slowly fell asleep. Good night.